I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Bootz Sports Show. I'm your host, Uncle Bootz. And of course, Cowboy fans, we find out some things about our team this week after a depressing 30-21 loss at the hands of the San Diego Chargers. And for one, we're not faring well against the AFC West, and neither is the NFC East in whole. They seem to be kicking our butt, but we had a chance to win a game up 2 scores before the half, and we fail to capitalize on that on the road. So before I start talking about this, the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to now 2 websites, yourdailycowboysfootballfix.com and also the silverandbluereport.com. Definitely check out these websites. We got a host of Cowboy fans. We are growing as a community, and hopefully we can all, communicate and spread ideas, watch videos, and read articles with each other. Although we might not want to see much videos from the game versus the Chargers. I mean, this was a bad deal. It wasn't as bad as it was bad to me because the Chargers were a football team that they presented definitely threats because they have a big time passer in Phillip Rivers. But you thought the Cowboys would have been able to take advantage of the offensive line issues. 3 starters off of the offensive line for the Chargers were missing. And then later on in the game, another starter came out and they had to sub in another guard, Schilling, into the lineup, who they just signed, I think, last week or the week before. You don't know what you're going to get with this team. And I thought, and let me admit this. The Cowboys did a good job selling me. Bill Parcells used to say, don't eat the cheese. Well, I was all in the cheese. I ate it all. The problem is that I thought that this team, I believed in what I saw last week. I believed in the defensive front line that was unblockable, was throwing Jake Long around like a rag doll. And I thought that we were going to see that, and we saw actually the total opposite of it this week. I thought, based on what I had seen, and not just from the Rams, I mean, the Cowboys' defensive front had been pretty active for 3 weeks. And I just didn't see that. I mean, you got to admit, the backups that started for the Rams, they blocked everything up. I thought that Phillip Rivers would have been sacked at least 5 times in this football game. And I don't think we got near him. I mean, maybe one time we got near him. So that was it. If you were going to tell me we weren't going to be able to block him and Phillip Rivers was going to be able to throw the ball to the likes of Danny Woodhead for 2 touchdowns and Antonio Gates for 10 receptions and a touchdown, I mean, the first when you're trying to play this team, the first thing you want to do is neutralize. You want to neutralize Antonio Gates. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to have a plan for that. And you thought that the cover 2 might help you do some of that. Well, it didn't. And let me say this, because I believe the mouths of the Jerry Joneses, the Stephen Joneses, the Jason Garretts, the Monty Kiffins. I believe these guys and the team themselves. They talked about how they were different and they were focused and they were playing better and they were holding meetings and accountability and all of these all the phraseology that comes with team football. And I didn't see it this week. I saw none of it. As a matter of fact, I didn't see the hard effort that I see every single week. Now, I saw some plays that were made. There were some yeahs. I fist pumped a couple times in this game. But this is not the team. This was not the team that I thought we had this year. And the Cowboys, this was a big game in the sense that the Cowboys could have separated themselves from not only the NFC East, because the trash that lies there in the NFC East, there's some bad football in the NFC East. Now, I don't know if we're a part of that, because right now the Cowboys are barely keeping their teams, their head above water here. The other teams are below 500 and playing awful defense, awful football, period. But honestly, the separate part is separating themselves from mediocrity. I mean, they could have separated themselves like, this is not the team that's going to win one, lose one, win one, lose one, and end up 8-8. And the Cowboys did not do that this week. I mean, you're looking at, a lot of you guys are probably going to say, well, what next? That's what, well, what you got coming next is Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. And if this week's pass defense was any indication on what I'm going to see going forward, Peyton Manning is probably going to come in there and pass for about 700 yards on you and about 7 or 8 touchdowns. Because there's no way what I saw last week or Sunday, there's no way, no way that this is not going to be a 60-point ball game. So the coaching staff has a lot, and I'm going to predict this too. I'm going to put this out there. I think that you're going to start to hear rumors of the play calling duties of Bill Callahan relinquishing the play calling duties. And the reason I say that is, and all you guys that bash Tony Romo, Cowboy fans or not, Romo's playing very efficiently this year. He's giving everybody what they wanted. Everybody wanted Tony to not turn the ball over and not take chances and play safe, a.k.a. Alex Smith football, Sam Bradford football. I've seen quarterbacks play like this. Josh Freeman. Safe throws, check downs, everything short within 5 to 10 yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick. They want to turn Tony into Ryan Fitzpatrick. So what you have is a non-explosive offense. That's what you have. You don't have any turnovers. Tony can play turnover-free football. He's proven that to you right now. He can play that. The problem is you don't get the big plays down the field because you don't want Tony to take chances. You have a risk-taker quarterback, which is his biggest trait, and you've handcuffed him from that. So I want the old Tony back. If I got to have 2 interceptions a game, but I'm going to get 4 or 5 touchdowns and 370 yards passing, that's who I want. I don't want this DeMarco Murray long running, crashing into your offensive lineman, falling and tripping. I don't need that offense. Give me back the Tony Romo show that I fell in love with, that carried us to tons of first downs and high fives and jumping, and defenses were scared of Tony. That's who I want. I don't want this Alex Smith looking quarterback that you guys all want, or a lot of people want Tony to calm down, pipe down, just hand the ball off and throw it on 3rd down. I don't want that. So Cowboys are going to have a lot of work to do just to try to figure out what their identity is, because I think that that's another part of the team. They don't know if they can run the ball, and now they don't know if they can pass the ball because they're real safe with their passes. Real safe. I mean, it turned Tony into a really, really efficient quarterback. So the game, switching gears a little bit, this game changed, and the momentum, and we did talk about this on the Bootz Sports Show here. We talked about this team needs to start recognizing and taking advantage of, sustaining the momentum in games and during the season. That's how you gain consistency, by sustaining momentum. The one thing this team has lacked is consistency, and we had momentum in that game. The Sean Lee interception for the touchdown, but for some reason the coaching staff decides to kick a field goal, a 56-yard field goal on the road, because the wind was blowing at their back with Dan Bailey. Now, at the time I didn't think so. This is hindsight, talking here. This is foresight. I did not believe that was a good idea. Win or make, I didn't like it. I wanted them to pin the ball deep, kick the ball. Our punter wasn't punting great. Chris Jones didn't have a great day yesterday. Actually had a pretty bad day punting the football. Couldn't take advantage of field position in that respect. Punt the ball deep and pin them inside the 10 or the 5, or just kick it out the back of the end zone, but make them have to drive all the way down the field to score. Now, they ran out of time because we gave them short field and managed to get a pretty long field goal, which would have been a punt had we done what I said. So they scored 3 points, and that took the momentum. They took the momentum back into that locker room at halftime, the San Diego Chargers. it was a poor coaching decision. That was a terrible job. I don't care if we kicked and made the field goal. I just didn't like. I mean, you had to make the field goal because I don't want to be ignorant here. You had to make the field goal, the 56-yarder, and look like a genius in order for that to work. Because anything else was not enough. It was a poor job. So I'm not going to say if he made the field goal, it would have been like, wow, that was great. They must have looked at it before the game and felt that he could have made him from 60. He must have made. It would have been a great job that he made it. But he didn't. And now it was the worst decision you could make. This is so frustrating for me. I mean, I didn't even want to do this show today. I didn't even want to do it. I'm feeling under the weather. I'm so sick and tired of the same thing every single week. We got bigger, shinier, better toys than yours, but everybody's playing with your toys and nobody's playing with mine. We got better players on this field, and we find ways to lose games. I'm watching Jerome Simpson catch passes from Matt Castle, 100+ yards, and we can't get guys open. I'm watching multiple games, and there's guys making plays with. I'm just saying, all the stars we got on this team, and we got a bunch of guys dropping passes. Yeah, guess what? Terrence Williams came into the game and got his introduction into the starting role in the NFL. And yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, 7 catches for, 70-something yards he had, and a fumble. Listen, the guy is trying to outstretch and get in the end zone. If he gets in the end zone, everybody's talking about what a great second effort the kid made. That's what they're talking about. That's what everybody will be saying. So he stretches out, the ball gets knocked out of his hand, it's a fumble, it's game over. Well, you know what? Why couldn't they go at Dez in this spot? I mean, if you followed me on Twitter at Jerry_Holman, you would have saw on my Twitter, during that play, I put, gotta be the fade route up to Dez for the touchdown. It's gotta be. It can't go to Terrence Williams. You can't let the defense dictate that we have to throw the ball to Terrence Williams all day. Go out and be assertive and stop saying, well, they were giving us Terrence Williams one-on-one, so we kept taking that, and the defenses are going to give us that. Well, if that's the case, defenses are going to force you to try to make Terrence Williams a Pro Bowl wide receiver. You got to go out and take what they... You'll find out how to assert yourself this week when you watch the film of the Denver Broncos, because they don't give a damn what you're giving them. They're going to take what's theirs. So you'll see that. I'm not going to keep you guys long today because this you're talking about a team in this Dallas Cowboys team who got outcoached by better players. They roll out a badgered offensive line and the San Diego Chargers, and they say we're going to throw the ball because we believe we can block Nick Hayden. We believe we can block DeMarcus Ware. We believe we can block George Selvey, and we definitely believe we can block Jason Hatcher. And you know what? With a no-frills offensive line, the San Diego Chargers did exactly that. They came out, they blocked them up, and they completed passes. And you know what? And the defensive. Let me tell you something. Everybody's so concerned, like I said, everybody's so concerned about the running gun quarterback, about the read option. We were all concerned about the RG3s of the world, and we were all concerned about, what's Vic going to do this year? Cowboys, Monty Kiffin's defense, how's it going to respond to the read option? Well, you know what? The pocket passer is kicking Dallas's ass this year. Eli Manning, 400 yards. Phillip Rivers, 400 yards. I'm telling you, if it says 700, if you got Peyton Manning this year in fantasy, this week in fantasy, I don't care who else you got, put him in there, because you might win with just that player alone. There's no way this isn't a 500-yard, 600. You can't fix it. There's not enough practice week to fix what I'm seeing become a problem. I'm worried about the pocket passer. I'm not worried about Vic and these other guys. So the Cowboys definitely have sold me a bad bill of goods here. I believe that we were going to be able to go out and assert ourselves and harass Phillip Rivers, attack Phillip Rivers, badger Phillip Rivers, and we just never got to him. You know, the coaching scheme that got me defensively was when the first time we saw Bruce Carter, and Bruce Carter can run with any player in the league just about. You know, as a linebacker, he can run with them all. You know, I'm not going to say slide him out there on a wide out and let him run with Sean Jackson, but I'm saying he can run, he can cover ground. Now, the first play, touchdown to Danny Woodhead, you know, Bruce Carter was in good position, actually looked for the ball, turned, looked for the ball, got his hand up. It was just a perfect throw out, you know, over his outstretched hand, fell right into the breadbasket for Danny Woodhead. Now, the coaching staff had a chance to go in at halftime and evaluate how they were going to attack that play the next time it shows its face up. And it did show its face up. And guess what? We were caught with our pants down in single coverage with the linebacker on. See, you can't have that because, once again, Danny Woodhead is their version of Cole Beasley. That's their Cole Beasley there. You know, you can't have a linebacker, you know, with these quick twitch players like that covering for long distance, you know, long distances. We got caught in the same coverage again. So, you know, we did a terrible job with the adjustments, and we were out-schemed. They picked you apart because you weren't prepared for these guys. These guys made plays. I mean, they made plays on a defense that looked dynamite last week. I'm sick of it, man. I mean, I'm sick of it. We got what we got, man. We got a 500 team, 9-7 ball club. You know, that's what you got. You know, I thought maybe 10 wins. You got a 9 or 8 win team if you're lucky. Who knows what we'll see this week. You know, the way the Cowboys have traditionally done, they've won these games against the Broncos. They've come out and beat the undefeateds. I've seen them do it many a times. I've seen them beat Peyton with the Indianapolis Colts the year they won the Super Bowl and started out 9-0. Cowboys took them down. I think the Saints were 11-0. You know, Cowboys took them down. Cowboys win games like this. They do. They just do. But I'm not putting any more stock in this team. I'm going to continue to nurse myself from the sickness that I've contracted from whomever, including the Cowboys. I'm sure they had a hand in it too. Whatever virus they gave me last night. I'm sick. I'm just sick. In all aspects of the word sick, that's who I am. I'm pissed off. I feel like swearing in this video and being so unprofessional that this is the 9th time I've tried to take this video. You're watching this video that is rehashed and redone 9 times because I've had to eliminate stuff. I don't even know what I've said before, if I've said it again, because it's the 9th time I'm saying it. This is, it's frustrating. So I can't wait to be frustrated again next Sunday, going up against the Peyton Mannings and what have yous. So, guys, I'm out of here. Once again, I'll do another pregame show. It's going to be a grueling pregame show, too. It's going to be awful. Hopefully, I'll be in a better mood and I'll be in better health. Don't forget, 2 websites, guys. Check them out. YourDailyCowboysFootballFix.com. Once again, and also the Silver and Blue Report. I'm out of here. Let me nurse myself back to health. And hopefully the Cowboys will continue to follow, track injuries, etc. Hopefully we'll get healthy, and Jay Ratliff will be coming back in a couple weeks. So we need all the help we can get. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, guys. Cowboy Nation will rise again.